Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope all of you are doing well. So in this video, I will be discussing about one of the significant play of Renaissance, that is Hamlet, written by William Shakespeare. In this video, I am just covering the Act 1 summary and analysis. So let's start. So in the Act 1, Scene 1 of Hamlet, it basically starts in this way. The play opens during a bitterly cold night. Watch outside of the royal Danish palace. There is a changing of the guards. Bernardo replaces Francisco. Soon two more characters arrive, Horatio and Marcellus. We learn that Bernardo and Marcellus, two soldiers, have witnessed an extraordinary sight. On both of the previous nights' watches, the ghost of the former king of Denmark, old Hamlet, has appeared before them in full armor. On this third night, they have welcomed Horatio, a scholar and a skeptic who has just arrived in Denmark to verify their ghost sighting. Horatio initially expresses doubt that the ghost will appear. Suddenly, it does. The two soldiers charge Horatio to speak to the ghost, but he does not. The ghost disappears just as suddenly as it arrived. Soon after the ghost's disappearance, Marcellus asked the other two why there has been such a massive mobilization of Danish war forces recently. Horatio answers, saying that the Danish army is preparing for a possible invasion by Fortinbras, Prince of Norway. We learned that Fortinbras' father, also named as Fortinbras, was killed many years before in a single combat with old Hamlet, the new deceased king, whose ghost we have just seen. Now that old Hamlet has died, presumably weakening the Danes, there is a rumor that Fortinbras plans to invade Denmark and claim that lands were fortified after his father's death. After Horatio has witnessed explaining this political backstory, the ghost of Hamlet, old Hamlet, appears once more. This time, Horatio does try to speak to the ghost. When the ghost remains silent, Horatio tells Marcellus and Bernardo to try to detain him. They strike at the ghost with their spears, but jab only air. A rooster crows just as the ghost appears, ready to reply to Horatio at last. This sound startles the ghost away. Horatio decides to tell Prince Hamlet, old Hamlet's son, about the apparition, and the others agree. So this is the Act 1, Scene 1. Now what is happened in Scene 2? What happened in the Scene 2? So this scene begins at the court of Claudius and Gertrude, the king and queen of Denmark. They have just been married. This marriage has followed quickly after the death of the former king of Denmark, old Hamlet, Claudius' brother. Claudius addresses the quickness of the marriage, representing himself as in mourning for a lost brother, even as he is joyful for a new wife, his one-time sister. Claudius also addresses the question of the young Fortinbras' proposed invasion. He says that he has spoken to Fortinbras' uncle, the king of Norway, who has made Fortinbras promise to halt any plans to invade Denmark, and Claudius sent Cornelius and Voltmand, two courtiers, to Norway to settle this business. Finally, Claudius turns to Laertes, the son of his trusted counselor Polonius. Laertes expresses a wish to return to France, and Claudius grants permission. At this point, Prince Hamlet, who has been standing apart from the king audience this whole time, speaks the first of his many lines. Claudius asks Hamlet why he is still so gloomy. Hamlet's replies are evasive, cynical, and punning. He declares that his grief upon losing his father still deeply affects him. Claudius goes into a speech about the unnaturalness of prolonged grief. To lose one's father is painful but common, he says, and Hamlet should accept this as nature's course. He expresses a wish that Hamlet remains with them in Denmark instead of returning to Wittenberg, where he is a student, and when Gertrude seconds this wish, Hamlet agrees. The king, queen, and all their retinue then exit the stage, leaving Hamlet alone. In this scene, his first soliloquy appears. In his first soliloquy, Hamlet expresses the depth of his melancholy and his disgust at his mother's hastily marriage and marrying Claudius after the death of his father. He declares his father to be many times Claudius' superior as a man. After this soliloquy, Horatio, Marcellus, Bernardo appear. At first, Hamlet is too aggrieved to recognize Horatio, his old school friend, but finally he welcomes Horatio warmly. After chatting about the state, Horatio tells Hamlet that he has seen his dead father recently the night before. Hamlet asks him to explain, and Horatio tells the story of the appearance of the ghost. Hamlet decides to attend the watch that very night in hopes of seeing the ghost himself. So at that time, this scene ends. In the Act 1, Scene 3, it appears in this way. As the scene opens, Laertes is taking his leave of his sister Ophelia. In the course of their farewells, Laertes advises her about her relationship with Hamlet, with whom she has been spending much of her time lately. He tells her to forget him because he, as a prince of Denmark, is too much to hope for as a husband. He adds that she should vigilantly guard her chastity, her most prized treasure as a woman. Ophelia agrees to attend to his lesson. As Laertes is about to leave, his father Polonius arrives. Polonius gives Laertes a blessing and a battery of advice before sending his son on his way. With Laertes gone, Polonius asks Ophelia what they had been talking about. As he arrived, Ophelia confesses that they had been talking about her relationship with Hamlet. She tells Polonius that Hamlet has made many honorable declarations of love to her. Polonius said that these declarations, saying much as Laertes did, that Hamlet wants nothing more than to assail her chastity and then leave her. He makes her his daughter promise that she will spend no more time alone with Hamlet. Ophelia says that she will obey. So in this way, this scene also ends. Now in Scene 4 of Act 1, it is basically at the night watch. Hamlet, Horatio, and Marcellus awaits the reappearance of the ghost. They hear cannons from the castle, and Hamlet tells them that this is a sign that Claudius is drinking pledges. Hamlet goes on a short tirade against the Danish custom of drinking heavily. His speech is no sooner over than the ghost appears again. Hamlet immediately addresses the ghost, imploring it to speak. The ghost beckons for Hamlet to come away apart from the others. Horatio and Marcellus attempt to keep Hamlet from following the ghost, warning him of the many evils that might befall him. Hamlet does not listen. He threatens to kill Horatio or Marcellus if they detain him, and when they stay back, he follows the ghost off stage. Horatio and Marcellus determine to follow at a distance to make sure that no harm comes to their friend. So that is Scene 4. In Scene 5 of Act 1, in this scene, alone with Hamlet, the ghost finally speaks. He tells Hamlet that he has come on a night walk from purgatory, where his soul is under continual torment for the sins of his life. The ghost then reveals that he was not killed by a viper, as officially announced, but was murdered. Moreover, he reveals that his own brother, Claudius, who now wears his crown and sleeps with his wife, was the murderer. The ghost tells of how Claudius snuck into his garden while he was taking his accustomed afternoon nap and poured poisonous into his ear, killing him most painfully and sending his soul unpurified into the afterlife. The ghost demands vengeance, telling Hamlet not to plot against his mother, whom he described as merely weak and lustful, but to focus the whole of his revenge on Claudius. The ghost then disappears. Hamlet, overwhelmed and half-raving, swears that he will kill Claudius after he has made this vow. Horatio and Marcellus arrive. Hamlet does not tell them what the ghost has revealed, but nevertheless insists that they would swear not to speak of the operation to anyone. They agree. Hamlet then insists that they swear again on his sword. They agree again. Confused at these demands, the ghost of old Hamlet, meanwhile, can be heard under the stage, insisting along with his son that they swear themselves to secrecy. Hamlet leads his friend to several different points on the stage, insisting that they swear over and over again. He then reveals parenthetically that they might find his behavior in the next while to be strange. He might pretend to be mad and act otherwise unusually, but that they must still keep secret what they have seen. After this final agreement, Hamlet leads the other off stage, uneasily, determined to revenge his father's murder. So in this way, this scene also ends. So that's all from my side. In this video, we discuss about the summary and analysis of Act 1. Now in my next video, I will be discussing about Act 2, its summary as well. So if you have any queries, you can ask me in the comment section. Please like, subscribe and share my channel. Thank you for watching.